everybody knows I hate being late.
Yeah.
That's my, I don't like being late at all. I'm almost never late. I left my house at 11:45 to try to be here by 1. I live 25 minutes away. It took me 95 minutes to get here.
That is absurd.
We're doing a daytime show. We don't usually do daytime shows.
No, we don't.
We're nighttime guys.
Owls.
Yeah, and I'm usually I'm not the type of person, just because I'm a comic, I don't just be home the whole day. Like I'll go out and do stuff. But when I feel like coming into the city in the daytime is
it's a different beast.
There's a protest around about. I got stuck in a protest. Everybody was like, "Do you support?" I was like, "I don't even know. I don't know what we're protest." Did you see it? No. Yeah, there's they had signs.
Did you take a sign?
I don't know. I didn't know what it was for. Like I was trying to get back here, and I'm still healing from my ankle. And the people were like, "Thank you for your support." And I'm like,
"You're not part of."
I'm walking to my podcast. I don't know what this protest is for.
You're not part of the movement, bro?
But it's in front of the courthouse. It was white people. You know, they protest a lot.
Were they protesting us?
White people weirdly protest more than any other group, I think.
What were they protesting?
I think it was Elon Musk. I heard someone yell Tesla. I don't really know what the thing was. Yeah,
really?
I don't know what it was, but this is just where we're at.
Tesla though.
When I saw people have a bump, like there's like a bumper sticker you could buy if you have a Tesla. Like I bought this before. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like
you just you bought it before.
You cannot agree, but like APR 6-year pay. I'm still paying for this.
Yeah, yeah. No, I saw that. I saw yesterday that I think Elon's stepping down from Tesla because
they started a CEO search.
Yeah, because they're doing bad. Like their
stock is
he's messing
plummeted.
up the bread.
Yeah,
damn, son.
But we've been gone for a few weeks. We were supposed to record last week, but we had some scheduling conflicts.
Yeah,
because we're both working men.
Adulthood.
Carmen, were you by any chance at a Mediterranean restaurant a week and a half ago?
In what part of town? I've randomly been to like 8 Mediterranean dinners, I feel like, in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
I don't know why.
You like hummus?
What? Love. Like I was at 12 Chairs last night.
This was last week on Monday or Tuesday. Were you dining outdoors at a Mediterranean restaurant?
Yeah, were you?
Yeah. You were sitting right behind me. Outside.
Wait.
In the outside table.
Why didn't you say hi?
I thought you were stalking me. And I,
Wait, are you dead ass?
And I walked. What do you mean am I dead ass? How would I know this?
Wait, you're right, but I'm just freaking out. Why didn't you say anything?
I was not comfortable. I did not know what was happening. I snuck out the back.
What?
But then I was like,
wait. I was getting dinner with one of my good college friends. She was in town from LA. She does the styling for she's the style assistant for Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. So she was in town. I haven't seen her in forever. So I wasn't even focused on who was there. I hadn't seen her in like a year and a half.
Yeah, this seems like a lie. You were sitting directly behind, like I'm here, you were where the wall is. But I didn't know it was you. I'll be honest, I didn't know it was you until I left, like because it was outside seating, and I had the cane and the boot.
You were saying you're sitting right next to me. You notice I'm sitting behind you, and you don't say a damn word.
No, I didn't notice till I left. And which is weird because I was thinking to myself when I was in my car, I was like, how did I not notice that voice? But when we walked off, I looked over and I said, I think that's Carmen. I think that's my podcast.
I can't believe you didn't hobble over and say hi. We could have had a spread.
That's the thing. He was hobbling.
I was hobbling. I was like, this is a lot.
Well, I was throwing a lot of tea to her.
I also thought it would be funnier if I just didn't say anything and walked away and brought it up on the podcast a day later.
You think I was stalking you. I feel creeped out that you saw me and didn't say anything.
Well, in my defense, this is like the third time we're like at a place at the same. Remember when the LA incident where you were like randomly in LA when I was in LA?
This narrative that I'm following you.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. And then it's funny because I was in your hood. I won't say what the neighborhood is, but I was in your hood at a bar, and I was like, what are the chances that like you pop up there? And then you didn't pop up there, but you popped up in another place at another.
What bar were you at?
I forgot. It was some dive. It was around the block from.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
And I said the neighborhood anyway.
Well, what the hell? Say hi next time.
All right, maybe I'll say hi next time.
I wasn't. Who were you with?
I think he was going more for the content.
Yeah,
This is a great story.
It was for the
I was laughing.
I'm laughing.
No, I was with a friend like you. I was catching up with like a friend, like how you were.
Wait, no way. Yeah, this is like one of my best friends who's in town from LA. So,
But
the thing
I was deep in my boy drama. I was like focused on.
The thing is, I don't think we crossed paths for like a while, like because there was a gay guy behind me, which I was totally comfortable with, but he was.
Why would you not be?
No, I just want to make that clear. You don't know with
Our waiter, the gay dude.
No. Our waiter,
Because I follow him on Instagram.
No,
now.
no. There was like a gay guy. There was like a gay guy behind us, like before, like when we paid the bill, it was like a gay guy behind us.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember I looked, but then when we left, it was you. So I think it just happened fast. Like you weren't there the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but there was like a gay guy and like his friend, and he was like, he was being like, doing the gay thing, like loud and stuff, which I'm totally fine with. I actually prefer it. I prefer to be in a neighborhood that's like
It's a safe environment.
Yeah, that's more gay.
It's a more fun environment.
Yeah, because they're cool, they're clean,
They
like
dance.
they're funny. Like I never really met a gay person who wasn't funny. Have you? Especially a gay man.
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah.
Not funny, or you have?
I'm saying not funny. I have a lot of queer friends, and my friends are funny, but I've met a lot of gay people are just people, and there's
Nah, I don't-
annoying people.
I don't
and,
agree. I think gay people are funny.
Since it's a compliment, I'll let you have
Yeah,
it.
I'm
But
a-
next time if you see me in the wild, say hi and let's have a drink about it.
See me in the wild.
Instead of you reverse stalking me.
I don't know if we were there. I don't know if reverse stalking. I could have texted you and I didn't. I just snuck off. I had a cane. I by the way, I'm healing up. I'm going caneless. I've been caneless for 24 hours. I started yesterday.
Okay.
I still got a brace under, but I'm wearing sneakers, no more boot. Bro, having a cane for like 3 weeks, from crutches to cane to all that, like it changes my perspective on things.
The elderly.
On the city, like I'm like, this city, people walk too fast.
They walk too fast.
Everyone is in a rush.
Nothing
I'm like
is-
an old person from the Midwest.
And nothing is
No pun.
ADA. Nothing is ADA.
Nothing.
Everything has steps. I know.
Nothing is accessible.
Nothing
I'm
is
like,
accessible.
why doesn't this place have an elevator?
Where's
They're
the
like,
ramp?
You're about to start a protest.
Right,
for
No,
accessibility.
seriously.
I'm
Where's
like,
the
this
ramp?
this is like ableist. Is that a thing, right? Like,
It is.
Yeah, ableism.
It is.
Yeah, like it's offensive to like disabled people. Bro, I'm like, why is everyone walking so fast?
Yep.
I did not realize. I'm a fast walker. I'm a New Yorker. I didn't realize how much in a rush.
Everybody.
Like, dude, I'm just walking down the sidewalk. I'm moving to the side. Like, go ahead. I'm like annoyed about it.
You got to bake in an extra hour to like 2 hours just to travel.
So what? Why don't New Yorkers walk at a normal pace?
Cause it's expensive. They got somewhere to go. They run
Time
late.
is money and
Time
money
is
is
money,
time.
Bro,
They
it's
running late.
very, very, very off-putting.
Yeah.
I'm walking slow.
And then people get annoyed at you for
Yeah,
walking slow.
even though I'm with a cane.
Get
I
out
didn't
of
know
here,
this.
you're the comedian.
I didn't know this though. I've been doing this bit on stage. I also didn't know black guy with a cane,
Pimp.
very different than white guy with a cane.
Yeah.
Why?
Black guy with a cane does not read injury. It reads where the hole's at. White guy with a cane, totally fine. Everyone's like, oh, he must have a knee injury.
You want a water
or
bottle?
sciatica. I don't know what white people have.
ACL.
But yeah, some type of thing. Black guy with a cane, not the same energy.
The only-
People think I'm doing it for fashion.
That's definitely it, especially with those shades. Were you wearing those shades?
To be fair, though, I want to be fair. I did have my cane that I've been using, which I think I might just continue to use it after I'm well. It's not even a cane; it's a walking stick, and the head is like a duck. So it's not like like a injury cane. It doesn't look like that. It's a duck, and it's actually it's a whole thing. I'll bring it in next time. It's a sword in the thing. Like you pull it out, it's like a
This
sword.
guy's Severus Snape.
Yeah. So I get why people think. To be fair, I understand why people think I have holes.
You walk around with a sword?
Yeah, it's hidden though.
Is
You
that
don't see
legal
it.
in New
You
York
don't see
City?
it. It's a nice
I'm
weapon
not
though
snitching.
because I like it. I had to get it because everyone kept running up on me so fast
You might have to
that I didn't feel safe. I wanted to get a
back up.
Yeah,
You got it. You might get into a duel.
Yeah, so that's fair.
I feel you. I feel you.
But
When's the last time you got into a duel?
a fight. I was thinking about that recently. Somebody asked me if I knew how to fight, and I was like, I don't think so.
Physical
I
fight?
haven't been threatened to fisticuffs in a long time. I don't think I'm a fighter. That's fine.
That's preferred.
Yeah, I will fight if I have two good ankles and you force me, but I don't generally want to fight.
You bring up a very
Thank you.
astute
Thank you.
perspective
Thank you.
and point when you say good ankles and fighting. And I've noticed there's a trend of people not wearing like sneakers or like shoes any kind of like footwear that has ankle support.
Yes.
And me being a classically trained New Yorker, I mean, that means that they're not prepared for a fight. You know, you wear sneakers not just for grip, but you wear sneakers not only just to run, but it's just like just in case something pops off. You have
Right. No,
grip.
I think about that. If I'm gonna go out, especially with a lady, I need good ankle support in case stuff happens.
Because
you don't want to get caught slipping in sandals. Getting knocked out in slippers is 10 times worse getting knocked out if you had,
sneakers.
say, Timberlands.
Yes, 1,000%.
Anyone could get knocked out in Timberlands, but if you get knocked out in slippers, that was your fault.
You weren't prepared.
You were asking for it. It's kind of like, what are you wearing?
Exactly.
Guys.
Sure.
Like when a guy gets knocked out, people be like, what were you wearing?
But it's more impressive if you beat somebody's ass
In
with
slippers?
on. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, those days are gone.
That's
for me.
long gone.
I'm gonna be 35.
That's what I'm saying.
The days of me knocking people out in slippers are gone.
I've aged out of fighting.
I'm like a NRA member. I'm getting a gun.
Whoa.
Like I support the First Amendment. Is that the first or the second? The Second
Second.
Amendment. I support the Second Amendment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the views, thoughts, and opinions of Ian Lara.
Are you not a Second Amendment
I'm
supporter?
a big Second Amendment supporter, but we're trying to get some views here.
No,
What are you trying to do?
that's what YouTube likes.
What? I've seen John Wick.
Is Second
Guns
Amendment
and fighting.
Yeah, I actually after I heal up with my ankle, I'm starting.
You going to the range?
No, I'm starting MMA.
Krav Maga?
MMA.
Oh, no way.
Training.
See,
I'm gonna
that's
become
content.
I'm gonna become a fighter.
God, there are a lot of
What about your ears,
White
bro?
guys who are fighting now.
I was gonna say a lot of guys from my tech startup job who were on their MMA shit, and I'm just
Yeah,
like
a lot
I'm
of
just
losers
not
learn how to
impressed.
fight.
Yeah.
It's like
You're at
to
a
back
tech
up their
startup?
being losers. Yeah.
What?
You're at a tech startup?
When I was at the tech
Oh,
startup
yeah.
that I infamously left,
But what about your ears?
Did
What
you leave
about-
or they asked you to leave?
I left.
The cauliflower ears?
Yes.
You could just wear headgear so that doesn't happen.
That looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
If
When
I'm
you-
going to
when you're
MMA,
training,
I'm
I'm
going to
saying.
MMA with no headgear.
If you get to the point though where you're doing like MMA, what's it called? Like, is it just called a fight or a match? Whenever you,
I'm
get,
not doing matches. Come on. I'm
well, if
34
you get
years
there,
Rolling?
we'd obviously throw a sponsored pregame,
Of course.
kind of make it a televised event.
old. No,
course.
we're not making me getting my ass beat in the middle of New York.
So what you're
televised
saying
event.
is that you're not going to fight Logan Paul.
No, I just want to train. I just want to fight better than most people. So when I'm out in the street, you know, let's say like when I talk, people start taking me seriously. I show up to the studio, stuff is not ready. You know, people be like, yo, we got to get ready because Ian knows how to fight.
He's an MMAer.
Yeah,
MMA player.
That's what I
Ian
want.
knows how
And
to
my friend is gonna train me. He was like an MMA.
Joe Rogan?
He fought. Nah, he fought. He was 0-6, but you know the
least he
competition was tough.
He was in the octagon.
Yeah.
Regardless, he'll get you started.
Yeah, no, he did not win one fight, but he said that he was fighting a lot of tough opponents. Like I won't be fighting the level of people.
That's what everybody
Okay.
says.
So he can train me for like daily combat.
So like,
Okay.
is this like jujitsu or is like pure MMA? Like you're going to be striking and rolling?
I think it's jujitsu.
BJJ, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what my
I
VP
love
doing.
BJs,
Who doesn't?
Brazilian Jews, jitsu.
Mazel tov.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Ever been to, whatchamacallit? I'm drawing a blank here. It's coming. Fogo de Chao.
The Brazilian steak.
Oh, I have been there. Yeah, there's one by my house.
I love Brazilian steakhouses too.
Here's a pro tip. If you've never been to Fogo de Chao, and it's very expensive, but there's a lunch deal you can go to where you pay like $40. You get to do the Brazilian stuff, you get salad, and you can have lunch for two for like $65.
If you haven't subscribed, that information alone is worth the subscription.
A lot of money. Yeah.
The lunch tip
Subscribe to what?
to the Adulthood
Oh,
podcast.
speaking of, I gotta give a shout out. Everything feels off. I have to give a shout out to
That's the Virgo.
the new subscribers. I don't know what happened. But we've been getting a lot of new
What
subscribers.
did you do? What did we do?
New listeners. I don't know.
Did we
I
pay
really
for
don't-
something?
I really don't know. We've been getting a lot
Gotten
of
a ton
subscribers.
of followers from the white versus black sayings thing. Like literally like 500
Oh, on what?
on Instagram.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, maybe that's our thing. Maybe that's what we'll turn this podcast in, just giving white people their flowers. Because a lot of people are on board with that.
They are 100% on board.
Yeah.
Like my IG blew up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was thinking about like, all right, what else could we give white people credit for? Because I think this is the way to climb socially, in
Okay.
America.
we should clip that and see what the response is for that.
Right.
But
with no context.
shout out to all the new followers.
Big shout out.
We have a lot of new subscribers on YouTube also. The subscribers went up like 1,000.
That's what's up.
Last
Big
month.
shout out. Big shout out.
And the people who follow the page, who like and subscribe. With that clip, a couple people it's so funny because a couple people had mentioned that other people had spoken about that on a podcast or whatever. People said that we were stealing the thing, and I was like,
Oh.
it's a conversation. Like, I don't understand how you steal a conversation.
I don't get how you steal phrases and sayings that are in common vernacular.
How about this? Can we, Johan, it's me, 8 p.m., blurt this out. How about that? We did steal, so what?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Tired of people.
we didn't steal. I can't have that
Fuck
out
that,
there.
I'm a thief.
I'm like, we should release the
Oh, right,
B-roll
you are-
footage of you rolling in and writing all the
Writing
phrases
this on
down.
your card.
But also, I think I mentioned it on the podcast. I had saw it in a meme. Like, I was bringing up a meme that I saw. Like, that's how we kind of do content.
People are so-
We talk about stuff that's in social media. And also, then people started tagging people who had talked about it. And I was like, oh, shout out to this person, shout out to that person. And the people were like, oh yeah, I don't own this. Like, I just spoke about it. Everyone is free to speak about it. And then, like, by the end, like 8 people were tagged, which is like, yeah, obviously no one is stealing. It's just a topic that a lot of people are giving their takes on. So shout out to all the new white listeners. Now we can really start selling like a lot of like the white brands. Like White Claw, reach out, Blue Chew, reach
Bud
out.
Light.
Like all the white people stuff.
Tuna fish
'Cause
sandwiches.
Our listeners are very like Heinz, mayo, and ketchup and mustard.
I told you I went to a PWI. I know the whole spread.
Yeah. So shout out to them. We had some emails. Should we get into
EM?
DMs
Yeah.
about that
DMs,
since we're on the
EMs.
topic?
Should we start? There was a really interesting DM from this girl, Lana.
Lana
Can we
Del
say-
Rey?
What?
Can we say the names?
No, Alana.
Did she say that she wants
said
us?
well,
Okay.
she messaged with their Instagram, so I'm like,
It's public domain, right?
Well, shout out to Alana.
Shout out to
Yes.
Alana.
What did she say?
she said, "Hi 8 p.m. and Ian, huge adulterer over here. Love your show. It's such a good podcast to drive to. Y'all crack me up. Here's the situation.
Tell your friends.
I decided to go all in on pursuing my dream career in music publicity a couple of years ago.
By the way, hold on. Can I just stop you? I don't mean to interrupt, but I just think like we started this whole thing as like a health and wellness podcast as a joke, but we've become like a motivational podcast. Like people just calling us, telling us that they're changing their life, quitting their jobs, leaving their husbands, sleeping with their secretaries.
Getting masters.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like what we dreamed of. We started it as a joke and it's going, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do we need white coats?
Hold on. That's a great idea. Okay, but she goes, I decided to go all in on pursuing my dream career in music publicity a couple of years ago. It's been a serious grind and a hard-fought uphill battle, but I'm really proud to say that I finally landed an epic client, and I just threw his album release party this past week.
Johan, throw the round of applause
Yeah.
in there.
Don't be afraid to call us and name drop about all the stuff you accomplished.
Yeah.
Because of us.
She goes, well, hold on, because this is a classic twist. She goes, I worked really
Plot
hard.
twist.
Oh.
I worked really hard over the past few months to get this artist to trust me enough to give me his business and represent his brand. At the party, which was a major success, by the way, Slay, I ended up hitting it off with his close friend and frequent collaborator. By the end of the night, the friend asked me to go home with him, and it was clear he was super into me. I turned him down, not because I'm not attracted to him, but because the artist I represent was still in the room and I'm trying to be professional. The Fred understood and asked me if he could take me on a date next week instead. My question for the pod is, do you think it's a bad idea to even go on the date with the friend? I don't know this guy well and do not want to jeopardize my relationship with my client if something doesn't go well on the date. But I've been single for 3 years and really hit it off with this dude. What would you do if you were me?
First of all, Alana, this is I applaud you on your accomplishments.
Kudos.
And I think me, APM,
Kudos.
Carmen, the whole team at here, we're like, I guess like about 50% responsible for the stuff you've been able to accomplish in the last year since the podcast started. Clearly, Alana is very horny. I mean, she has
3 years.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take that into consideration.
Keep that in consideration.
Because horniness can lead you down the wrong path.
Yeah,
9 out of 10 times.
As we're seeing.
This is why I'm very pro, like, you know, masturbate, like get rid of the don't come to work pent up.
Don't come full.
Especially with 3 years of pent up.
That's a lot of pent up.
Now, she's asking, is this a bad idea?
To go on the date.
I think she knows the answer.
She knows the answer.
Everyone knows the answer to this.
It's
It is
clear.
obviously a bad idea.
This is like the movies.
Nothing good can come from it.
Girl, don't you do it.
He was inviting you to go home on
And
the first night.
on the first night.
You know his intentions, which there's nothing wrong with that. He wants to sleep with you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to sleep with somebody.
At all.
However, this is your first client. and you don't want to build a reputation
For?
as what does she do? She's assistant PR.
Music publicity.
And you don't want to build the reputation as the PR person that an artist can hire and then their best friend can sleep with. Although that's a person I would hire, me personally, but I don't think that's the reputation she wants around.
You are giving wisdom, gems.
Thank you. How do you feel about it?
I feel 100% in agreement with you. It's a bad idea. You do not want that representation. And honestly, like, there's batteries, there's power, like whatever you need to do. I don't want to get into your sex life, but rub that thing out there.
Sure.
And get your mind clear and handle business. Because like you said, you don't want that representation. You don't want their artists, because artists talk. That's how you word of mouth, right?
Yes.
Yo, great publicist and cheap. No, you don't want that. You don't want no kind of smut in your name.
No.
You want to be like, nah, I tried and she curved me.
Yes, that's the reputation generally.
Curve.
I feel like as a woman, you went out there.
I'm
Correct me if I'm wrong,
1,000%.
Carmen.
1,000%. And no, just from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Right?
Or anything. Right? It's nice to be the girl that, like, when your name comes up, people are like, oh, I tried. And she said no.
curved.
100%.
Big curve.
Yeah.
Especially now you're just getting started.
Yeah. And if you're really into this guy and if you really like him, I would say just make him work hard then.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. / if he's really good friends, and she said collaborator, like it sounds like him and the artist work together.
They work together.
He's not going anywhere. So I'm like, yeah, keep your reputation, keep it about your business with the artist. And like, if it develops that you two can't avoid each other, that's fine. But in my opinion, I'm like, damn well this friend rolled out of this party and was like, your publicist is super hot to the artist. And like, for the artist to see that she didn't do anything about it is a good vibe. Like, that is professional. Like,
1000%.
I'm at work, my focus is on your party.
1,000%.
And I would listen to what Carmen said because she's been let go from about 3 jobs for sexual harassment. So she knows exactly
Tech
what
startup,
she's talking about.
she knows, right?
She's not just somebody just speaking
No,
who
this
has
is experience.
sexually harassed men at the workplace.
This is experience.
I think right now you're just getting into this avenue. You want to be recommended by this artist to his friends, his artist friends. You're trying to make a name for yourself in this avenue. The last thing you want is your name spreading around as, you did one party and hooked up with the artist's friend.
Yeah,
Right.
You don't want that. You don't want that on your record. You want your record to be, you throw great events, you're super professional, and you're almost untouchable, where it's just like, no, she don't even play that. Like, you don't even invite that.
Right.
It's all business.
And to be honest, you've been horny for 3 years. What's another 3 years?
What's another 3 years?
Just hold it out. You're obviously good at it.
You know how fast 3 years goes?
You're obviously an asexual person who doesn't need it. So I don't see why put your career at risk for this one guy.
Don't listen to Sexy
Could you
Red.
could you ask her to send a picture of the guy?
Yeah.
Don't listen to Sexy Red. Don't let that coochie breathe. Keep that coochie tight.
I agree.
Suffocate that coochie.
Well, can I ask you guys a question
Please.
about what I think you said when you were like, you know what he wants from you because he asked you to go home on the first date. Where do you guys stand on that? Because like, I feel like, I'm not being like that happens to me all the time, but I'm saying like, I feel like that's pretty frequently how I meet guys out. And like
Going home with them on the first day?
Well, they'll like them asking to go home on the first date.
Well, I mean, you are also at bars by yourself 9 times out of 10.
Always by myself, but okay, whatever. But I guess I'm like, what are you guys saying with that? That if they're asking you the first night they meet you to go home with them, that like I should assume that their intentions are not to date you? Because I don't agree with that.
No. I mean, everybody knows here at the Adulthood podcast, we are very supportive of first date
night
sex. I mean, we push it forward. We need to get T-shirts made.
Do need to get T-shirts.
Have sex on the first day.
But what we're saying, can I interject
Please,
here? What we're saying
interject.
is that because there's also like ways of it happening, of like we mentioned, and we got killed for this clip. But like, there's also the times where they're so charming. You're so charming as a man that a woman has no idea what just happened.
I mean,
like,
that's me most of the time.
exactly. Like, you just had such an amazing time that you're ready to let them enter you without even being prepared. Like that, we're talking about that. That's great. We support that. But as far as just like,
I've made a career out of that.
you're welcome.
I mean, I'm 5'7". Charming is all I had. If I wasn't allowed to speak to women, I would be like Alana, celibate for 3 years.
I'm pretty sure I wingman some of those situations.
Listen, I don't want to make it seem like, but this is
pretty
not.
sure.
This is not. Alana's situation is tricky because
It's
it
unique.
involves business.
It's work. And
Your situation doesn't involve business anymore because of the lawsuits. but
We live and we learn.
in Alana's situation,
it's work.
it's work.
And you want to separate those two as much as possible.
You don't want a work situation where it's on the first night.
Yeah.
Yep.
In private dating, that's different. You figure that out, and if it doesn't work out, you keep that a secret. You tell her I never slept. You lie, how most women do about sleeping on the first night. But in work, it's gonna get back to the guy, and also, you don't ever know the situation. Maybe the artist likes her. Maybe the artist has a thing for you. Maybe, he doesn't exactly want his friend sleeping with you. Maybe he gets jealous, fires you. You don't want to deal with it.
Something.
Yeah.
This is the first thing where and I say we because I mean her and the Adulthood podcast, we're into music PR as a team, and we've gotten you to this position where now you're doing business. And I think we need to allow ourselves as a unit, as a group, as Adulthood music PR to grow.
That's a t-shirt.
Instead of like,
so we can come to the next album release.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, where were our passes? Where were our tickets? Because we're a part of this company.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't have went. I want people to like invite
us.
me. We're not going.
No.
We're not people that go to stuff. But
Well, it sounds like she's somewhere where she drives. So I'm like, it sounds out of town.
We'll fly.
I drove here.
Well, you're not wrong about that.
You
Yeah.
should send it. Like, if anybody, look, I want to be clear about this. If there's adulterers listening here who like have a big event coming up, whether it's like a work thing that you put together, whether it's like a graduation, maybe you getting married and you and your partner are both adulterers who listen to the podcast, send us an invitation. We're not gonna go. So it's not like you have to worry about like where you're gonna seat us. Just send an invitation because it's nice to hear that we're changing the world. We do this for free. Only thing we have is like people loving us.
I'm a little bit, I don't know. If it's like a destination and if they're flying us out to a destination wedding, all inclusive.
Well, you know how I feel about destination weddings.
You're not going.
I think they're offensive and racist.
But if they're paying for it, like if they're paying for us,
I'm not going.
I'll represent
We'll
us.
be on the PJ
Yeah,
together.
I'll represent
Matching
us.
tan suits.
I'll represent us. Seersucker.
I
Yes.
like to treat myself as like the prude girl, like that doesn't give it up. Like, so when I get invited places, no, I'm not going. I can't make it. I don't matter. Remember the all white party?
You didn't go.
I didn't go to
Jerk.
What is it, Mike
Rubens.
Mike Rubens.
You got
Actually,
invited to
hold
that?
on.
Oh, you didn't hear that episode?
That was smart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't
That
know.
was smart.
If I don't go to Mike Rubin's all white party, what makes you think I'm going to your bum ass wedding in Cabo?
Given today's society, Shannon Sharp and everything going on, you did the right thing. You're thinking long term.
Should we talk about this off mic? I'm like,
No, we can talk about it.
what was
I
your
don't have any
strategy of
secrets.
what was your strategy of not
He had nothing to wear.
dead ass?
To the all white party? What do you mean my strategy?
Like, why did you choose not to go besides having nothing to wear?
My only regret about not going is the story I would have had for the podcast.
Selfish.
But you just thought it would not be fun.
No, I just didn't see I didn't see. First of all, I'm good at seeing the future. I'm like one of these
Clairvoyant.
like earthy bitches, that think they can predict the future.
Okay.
Totally.
And I just saw myself going there. First of all, I show up, it's gonna be all, Rolls
Rappers.
Royce and Lamborghinis. This was like a 4th of July, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The next like Monday, we went through the Instagram because they was posting photos from the party. It was everybody with a Rolex,
Yeah.
AP.
Yeah.
I thought that I was gonna show up with the dude who invited me to go with his squad, right? And I was gonna show up, and he was gonna show up, and he was gonna see Jay-Z and Beyonce, who were there, and be like, "Ho, Beyonce," and go with them. And then I was gonna be left asking people like, "Can I get you a drink?
Yeah.
Can I get you a drink?" As the help. And I did not want to put myself in that situation. Although I do understand that for the story, it's worth it. I am now doing a lot of things for the plot, but generally speaking, I'm not going.
And second of all, it just occurred to me that you definitely did have something to wear. You're a Dominican. There's no way you don't have all white ready.
No, I mean, I have an
Because-
all-white outfit under this.
Exactly.
I in the summertime, when the weather warms up, generally I just wear white outfits under because I never know when an all-white party is
It's
going
gonna
to
pop off. Dominicans, Jamaicans, Africans, all white, all prepared, all the time.
Yeah,
God.
that's a
All the
t-shirt.
time.
All white.
All
prepared.
white, all prepared, all the time.
Just
Oh,
pro
there's
white.
all
the
white.
KKK
I was gonna-
slogan.
Yeah. There's an all-white function. Bloop. I'm ready.
Yeah. So in conclusion, Alana, I would say
Don't do it.
Skip out on this one.
Yeah.
Skip out on this one. Maybe you stop working with the guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you move on to another artist. Then you could circle back.
Yeah.
And see how serious it's
Build your clients.
Also, dealing with people in music, like, that's like dealing with athletes and entertainment. Like, what are we doing?
You know what comes with that.
You know what comes with that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Build your clientele.
You know that.
Okay.
LA Adulthood, what's going on? This is 8 p.m. I am one half of the Adulthood podcast. And look, I'm plugging an event that's happening this Thursday, May 8th at the Avalon in Hollywood.
This is an amazing comedy showcase. It's called The Netflix Is a Joke. Introducing. I've been part of this festival before. I've been out here. It's a good time. If you're in LA, come get your tickets. You get to see a bunch of young killers do their best stuff, and it'll be recorded. And it's a great opportunity for young comics to get their names out there. I have a lot of my friends who have done it. I'm looking at the list right now. A bunch of funny comics. So get your tickets and go support. Hop Studios is producing it, and it's going to be a great time. Like Hop Studios, they've done Lisa's special on Netflix. They're doing great things. So go support and just sit in the audience and laugh. Why not? Why not be part of watching the next big things, big comics get exposure?
But look, there's 2 shows. There's 2 opportunities for you to see for you to see really talented comics doing their best short sets. There's the first show's at 7 p.m. and then the next show's at 9:30 p.m. Tickets are available on Eventbrite.
Yep, get your tickets if you're out in LA or if you're going to be visiting. Get your tickets to the Netflix Is a Joke introducing showcase. And if you're going to be out there, check out all the other Netflix stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff happening out there. And it's a great opportunity to get in early on the next big things. Thank y'all for listening. Adulthood Pod. Peace. Shout out to all the adulterers. Thank you guys for listening to the pod. We really, really appreciate it. Real quick, just a quick plug. If you want to see me do stand-up comedy on the road, I'm going to be at Laugh Boston on October 10th. We got 2 shows. Tickets are moving fast, so all the Boston adulterers, make sure you check out those shows. I'll be at the Comedy Attic in Bloomington, Indiana, May 16th and 17th, at the Rogue Island Comedy Festival in Rhode Island, May 22nd to the 24th, and at Dallas Comedy Club, the 30th and the 31st of May. Get your tickets, ianlaralive.com. Thank you. Peace. We got another call?
Yeah, but before we get to the voicemail there, I thought this was a funny DM from an individual named, and it was really short, so I'll just paraphrase it, but effectively, her boyfriend proposed to her and she got engaged, but she hates the ring.
Oh.
Should she have paused on the proposal when it happened and given notes? Or do you think she's allowed to give feedback now that she's accepted it and say, I want a different ring on my finger?
Can I take this?
Like, is that insulting?
If a man proposes to you with the wrong ring, with a ring you hate, I think immediately you say no and break up. Because what that guy is telling you is, I have took absolutely 0 time to learn anything about you. And I went out and spent thousands of dollars on a thing that I didn't even care to ask if you would like.
That's something. That's really something.
What do you got?
I was going to put a button on it. That's it. You hit it. You hit it out the
But
park.
she's already in a place where she's accepted the proposal. It's like, I think you have the uncomfortable conversation. If you're, it's going to be on your ring,
On your
presumably the rest of your life,
Yeah.
or on your finger the rest of your life.
No one is getting married for the rest of their life anymore.
You're so right about that.
People are doing it like, it's like careers.
It's like a bid.
No one just has one career anymore. They just switch careers like every 15 years. That's the same thing with marriage.
They switch marriages every 15.
Okay.
But how does that even happen?
He didn't ask nobody?
Yeah, like how does that happen?
You gotta
Should you
act
not,
like-
should you not do research before you propose?
That's what's crazy. And I'm sure in the moment you're probably having such an adrenaline rush that you're like, I don't even care. But then like 2 hours later, you're like, what the hell?
We could like low key do a deep dive here, because you bring up such a great point of like, you have to ask family, you have to ask sisters, you have to ask friends, like, hey, you have to ask her, but in a subtle way, like you're not getting too much information, or you get like a range. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, do you like this? Do you like that? What kind of cuts do you like? Like, I've learned princess cut, cushion cut, airdrop cut. Like, I've learned all these things that I don't know.
That
like,
sounds like someone who's shopping.
how you doing? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be prepared. Like, hey, such and such, does she like this or does she like that? Does she like this or does she like that? Oh, she doesn't like this. And then you also have to know your woman. You know what I mean?
That's what I feel. It feels a bit like unresearched.
Yeah.
Like he just jumped into this.
Yeah.
Not
And her
prepared.
even messaging the pod with love. We thank you for reaching out. But I'm like,
Well,
that to
her
me is she's
loyalty-
looking for the truth.
Her
That's a great
loyalty
point.
is to us. It's not to him.
That is a great. That's
He's
a
not
great
here to
point.
stay.
He didn't even get the right ring. Are you kidding me?
Can we cheers to for that? Like that's incredible.
Maybe Johan, maybe bleep out her name.
Yeah.
In case her fiance is a adulterer
listening?
also.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of that. I be on the road. I see a lot. There's a lot of couples that are adulterers together.
We need to do adulthood podcast
That's
couples retreat.
There's a couple people on the road
That's a reality show.
How you doing?
Yep.
where we just bring people on a retreat and break them up.
Or married people and they go through a series of tests and you guys rank who has the highest likelihood to go the distance.
Yeah, that's not bad. Netflix, if you're listening.
We know some
Or
people.
you know what? We'll take Peacock.
Yeah, I'll take a peacock.
We know people. We know
Yo.
people. You know some people.
By the way, there's been a couple instances, and I'm not gonna look at Adulthood podcast. All your secrets and DMs are safe with me.
With us.
But there's a couple couples on the Adulthood podcast who.
They want you to be the third?
You know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing.
They want you to be the
it's not
third?
that. It's
They
not
want to
that.
have a fiesta? No,
What?
you can't just warm us up.
Because they both listen to it. They both listen to it.
What,
They got
they-
their-
What are you
beefing?
saying you know?
What
got
do you
their-
know?
No, that let's say that they started off with their partners being well, I could say there's nothing wrong with it now. I
not
don't know.
using
I don't
names.
want to lose listeners.
You're not
Yeah, I'm
using
not
names.
using names. It's not if you think it's you, it's not. It's not you. It's somebody else. But there's a couple of them who like the girls have slid into DMs before, and now they're like in relationships, and now they're like, me and my boyfriend are adulterers.
That's
And I'm
not
like,
bad.
But you sent me nudes before, and now you have.
And now you're listening to me on the road. Yeah.
I made that up.
Yeah, that definitely sounds not true or something that definitely happened.
This is a good like question though.
God.
Can you remain close friends after you've touched down? Like after you've had a one-on-one situation with
I
someone?
think so.
But like friends,
well, what do you mean by touchdown? You mean slept with someone?
yeah. Like
Cracked.
but you're in a relationship now.
I think absolutely. If it depends on I think how many times you hooked up. Like there are guys from my past who I see all the time now and don't think like a damn thing about them. Like I'm like, you know, whoever. Anon, so good to see you.
But
Have
what
a
if-
good time. We're taking shots. I'm not thinking a thing.
No, but the thing is like, but what if it's like they're funny? Like, oh, this person's really funny. Like that encounter happened just because like maybe alcohol or something was involved, but actually like I just really like this person as a person, and like they like me as a person because we have jokes. Like, can you maintain that friendship, that relationship,
I think so.
I think so too. I also think it depends
even though
on.
nudes were involved?
I think so.
I think so too. I think it depends on. how-
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so. If you're a girl who has a boyfriend, like eventually, like I think if you have a boyfriend, you can't continue to talk to your friend that you slept with. That's unacceptable. But I think if you're a guy, you could. Because guys don't always have that open door like women do, right? So it's like women decide kind of who they sleep with.
Who's running the show.
And guys,
Women
like,
have the power.
If you told that friend that you slept with that you want to sleep with him again, he'll probably be like, yeah. As opposed to like if a guy had a girl and a friend who you slept with before and you told her let's sleep together again, they'd be like, no, I have a partner.
And she'll throw water in your face.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't think. I mean, look. All right. I see the light. I think if you slept with a partner and you want to have an adult relationship and you slept with a friend, you guys can no longer be cool.
Okay.
That's just the adulthood tip.
But I think the level would be cool. I think not messaging or hanging out one-on-one, but if you guys are at a party, yeah, I think
at a
absolutely.
party, yeah,
or
yeah.
you guys are all like in a big group meeting up at the bar, you guys can take a shot together and be normal. Like if you're truly in love with your partner, it shouldn't be an issue. You're
Do
not
you think it matters what type of sex you had?
That's interesting.
If it was trash,
Or, some sex, not all sex is the same.
That is, wait, you might have just gotten to the nut of the issue, literally.
We came. That's a first.
Whenever we finish a topic, now we just all go.
Yeah.
That is such a good point. It's like, because sometimes you'll be joking around with a guy. Like this happened to me where you're joking around with a guy at the bar. One thing leads to another. And then all of a sudden it's like a really good time. And then I'm never looking at you the same. We both know what happened there. I'm never seeing you. If
You're talking about like it gets filthy?
like it just was really good. I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
it at
no,
that.
I don't even think I don't think it's about like the necessarily the quality. I guess it all falls under the umbrella of quality, but I'm talking about like, look, if you hooked up with a friend and you guys had like, you know, just regular Christian condom sex.
Yeah.
That's very different than if you guys hooked up
And
you were on a
sweat.
balcony, hungover, upside down,
Yep.
you know, overlooking.
And there's sweat
Miami.
on the
right.
And there's
Yeah.
sweat on the window.
Pick a city.
Yeah. You came in with
your
straight
hair, you know, getting pulled back,
Yeah.
you know, screaming "I love you" off
Right.
the back. You know, that's very different.
Came
Yeah.
in with straight hair. The next thing you know, your hair's all curly and stuff.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. I think we need to grade sex on how passionate it was
For friendships.
for friendships after.
I agree.
If the passion level, if we go from 1 to 5,
Okay.
right, on passion,
And 5 is the most passionate.
5 is the most passionate,
And 0
5 is, and I know this is a kid show, but you know you're over
5
a
is-
balcony screaming, "Get me pregnant."
Yeah. And five I was going to say 5 is plan B the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That
I don't know if Plan B is 5 because I think you could probably get a Plan B at 3,
You can hit a
or
plan
2.
B
at 1.
Yeah,
You can.
Well, 1 no, 1 is
Full-blown
condom.
Christian condom. CC.
I'm sitting
like-
there wishing it was over.
It's just
Yes.
like, no, it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be bad. It could have been good.
It was
could have been
generic.
good.
It
It was
was-
just, I'm talking about Easter Sunday, the Lord is watching us, condom sex.
Okay.
That's 1.
Oh, that's a 1.
That's like, you know, we got dressed. There was no need to get like a STD test.
Like, it
a
happened.
Plan B. It's almost like it didn't happen.
Yes.
It's almost like it didn't happen.
Okay.
It was like a couple weeks go by and you're like, did that even happen?
that
Or was that a
happen?
dream?
Right. You just don't even think about
Yeah,
it.
you just
Not
didn't even think
24
about
hours.
it.
Yeah,
That's 1.
yeah.
And 5 is what I said originally. You know, you getting passionate out where like we're like
You
Episode
smoking
title.
cigarettes
we're like,
afterwards.
yeah, you smoking, you light
Yeah.
up a cigarette with each other. Y'all don't even smoke cigarettes. y'all smoking cigarettes after,
Yeah.
and you know, you gotta change their name on your phone.
Yeah.
It can't be bestie no more.
No, it's woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think if you go over a 3, you cannot be.
You can't be friends.
That is that's an amazing classification. Correct.
Like you can't be friends no matter under no circumstances. You might as well have had a relationship.
You
Yeah.
literally just cracked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just cracked it.
I think so.
I think we just saved a lot of people with that.
Passioned
Yeah.
out is so the
Yeah.
vital.
From 1 to
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Some people, especially, it's easy to fall into that when you have a good friendship.
It is.
Because remember we had said originally like friends don't use condoms.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
We had said that originally. Like if you get to that point where you're super super close, it's almost like you're in a relationship, right? Like when you hook up. If you know everything about each other, the only thing you haven't done is hooked up. You, for all intents and purposes, could pick up like you've been in a relationship,
Yeah.
and that's tricky.
Very. Very.
Yeah.
I think we just saved lives with that one.
Yeah,
If the guy ate your ass, you can't be friends.
You cannot be friends.
That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt. That's definitely a Vegas t-shirt. That's a Vegas t-shirt for sure.
I cannot with you guys.
Do we have
But
a
it's the truth.
voicemail?
We have a voicemail, right?
This, by the way, to all the adulterers, while she pulls up the voicemail, I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of adulterers. This is a family show.
Yeah, of
You know, a
course.
lot of people listen with their parents and stuff. I don't want you to take anything we talk about as like we're talking about it like sexually. This is not sexual. This is completely educational.
Only.
This is an educational show where adults are speaking about the trials and tribulations of being an adult in their 30s.
Nothing we've
in their
said
late
here
20s,
is
30s.
exactly.
We need to clip that and put that in the front of every episode.
Disclaimer.
Incredible.
I would want to ask, how has height affected your dating life, your dating history? So for me, I'm 6 foot, but in college and high school, I was always an athlete, so I just thought I was, I was hanging out with people that were 6'3", 6'4", I just thought I was average height. It wasn't until college that I realized, and girls were telling me I was tall and shit. And I kind of saw the way women talked about men who were shorter, like not even that short, like 5'9", 5'8". And then the way they talked to them with such disdain, so it had me thinking, like, when as I date women, I've decided, I don't know, like me subconsciously, it's like I only want to take women seriously that are 5'7", 5'8", up and up, because I see the way the world treats men who are shorter. And if I'm dating, like, I honestly go on dates with women who are 5'3", mind you, 5'4", 5'2", and then they tell me that I'm their height minimum. And I'm just like, what? This is crazy. And I would date them, but I wouldn't take them seriously because I know I can't have a kid with you. If I have a kid with you, you're going to treat that kid, if it's a man, the way you would treat, the way you treat short men today. So basically, how has height affected your dating life? All right, it's Jeez, thanks.
First of all, am I being trolled here? I just want to be clear. Is this a serious call or is this a troll to me?
He's calling for help. That's Dre. What's good, Dre?
Shout out to Dre, man. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being an adulterer. Dre, I'm going to be honest with you. I can tell by the sound in your voice that I've been with way more women than you have in your life. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that. But I don't think that what you're saying, look, I understand I exist in this world. I understand that there is a narrative that this exists, but I don't really see it happen that much in practice. I think in theory, I hear women say all this stuff about, I don't date short guys. I need you to be 6 feet. I need you to be 6'5". I need you to be 6'10". And I know that exists, but I don't think it's most women. Carmen, what are you, like 6'1"?
Okay, I'm offended by that. I'm 5'6" and a half.
And do you care?
About the height of guys? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not physically attracted to way shorter guys. Not in like
way shorter is different though.
Yeah,
we're not talking about midgies.
No, but I'm like, I have a hard time being attracted. I also I wear a lot of like kitten heels when I go out. So
what
I'm
are kitten heels?
What's kitten heels?
Like 1 or 2, like
oh, that's
short.
nothing.
Yeah, but still, then I'm like 5'8". I'm like, if I'm kissing you, I feel not feminine if I'm like leaning down into it.
But that, you know what you should do? Get therapy. That's on you.
You're not wrong. Like, look, I don't know, but also, yeah, my type is just not short.
What's short though? Let's put a
short.
Put in a category.
Less than 5'5".
Yeah, that is short.
Yeah,
short. That's very short. That's short.
I'm fine if we're like around the same height. I have no issue with that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because of course, it's nothing wrong with you wanting to date somebody that's like your height. Like,
no.
That's completely normal. I know guys that want to date girls who are like their height. Short guys who don't want to date short girls.
Yeah.
Like, I know that. But I don't think that in general, in practice, is that extreme. Like how, you see online, like on social media, sometimes you think girls be like, oh, I won't date a guy who's over 6'2" or 6'3". Sure, those people exist, but that's, and I'm not saying this, like you're 6'5", 6'5". Like, I'm not even saying this. That's if you actually have that perspective, like that's shallow and immature.
Thank you.
Like whether you're 6'5" or not, that perspective is shallow and immature. There you go. Just as a fact, as a matter of fact, is if you have that narrative, you're entitled to date whatever you like whatever you like. You have a shallow and narrow perspective of humans.
If you don't engage with someone because of an actual physical attribute, something that they literally don't have no control over, then that just shows you what type of person that you're going to be dealing with.
Especially for the women. A lot of these women are like 5'4" who say this. It don't be the tall girls. It'd be like the 5'3" girls that be like, I date guys who are over 6'6".
I need a guy who's 6'6".
And if that's what you want to date, I'm not knocking you. Date that. You do whatever you want to do.
And I think there's a complex there because if you're 5'3" and you only date 6'6" or older, I think you need to grow up, because I know you're only dating that because you like to climb up and treat it like a jungle gym, because I've been treated like that. And I'm
sorry, man.
I know. Thank you.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I'm sorry. I just had PTSD over there. I'm just playing.
I don't mean to get you all bent out of shape.
I'm all wild up.
I mean, I would say the same thing to if I'm talking to a guy, if a guy sends a call saying, I only like girls with huge tits.
Or big asses.
You entitled to date whatever you like, whatever your type is, that's fine. But you are in fact shallow.
There's more.
That is a shallow and narrow approach.
There's more to life.
Yeah, people bring to life to the table way more than their height, their titties, their ass. Like, how are you not concerned at all with who the person is? If he's 6'3", you're in?
That's crazy. It's crazy.
That's insane. But do you? If that's what you like, do you?
It's crazy.
But to Dre, I would say, first of all, you're 6 feet. So, your son is not going to be short. Even if you were with like a 5'4" girl, your son is probably gonna be your height, like 6 feet or taller.
Yo, Dre, stop getting women off of Tinder. Honestly,
Yeah.
like stop getting women off of like social media. Get like real women who have like real values and like have real principles.
Exactly.
And like you'll see like your whole world change. You'll be like,
Which, to be fair, I will say it is most women, is most people. Most people in practice in day-to-day life are not operating like
at all. At
like
all.
they're operating social
At
media.
all.
They're just living life, trying to pay their bills, trying to be better. And if you meet a guy who you run into who's like 5'8" and you guys hit it off and he's charming and
You're
he
in
asks you on
love
a
with
date,
him.
yeah, you'll do it. Like it's not
And this person's nice.
right. It's not. This is a social media thing.
They care about it. It really is. But I think a lot of people too, like they let social media dominate their real life, and then it spills. Like they don't have that barrier
I know.
of like, okay,
They just
this
think
is
it's reality.
They think it's reality. They don't have like, oh, this is just internet and it's funny, and then like I can disconnect from it. Like it's just
Also,
like
I think there's a real life component of, I think, of course, you want to be proud of your partner and like you want to show them off in a certain way, but there are a lot of people who care about who they walk in the room with. And again, I'm not judging those people, but I'm like, you're going to get the quality that you pay for
Yeah.
in terms of what's going on behind the scenes. You guys might look hot sitting courtside, but like, what's the conversation in the Uber there and back? Like,
if there is a conversation
and
Yeah.
to your point, there's a lot of women and men who don't care about that.
at
Yeah.
all,
Like
at
they
all.
don't care about the conversation. They don't care about what is at home. They just want the trophy.
And then, I mean, it sounds like he's a little bit younger too, because you get to a point in life where it's just like, do I actually like this person? Like, can I hang out with this person? Can I actually go to the game with this person and like not
Once
sit
the
courtside?
gloss wears
Yeah,
off.
once
That's
the
all it's
gloss
about.
wears off, because I've had experiences where, you know, my significant other or partners or people I'm dating, they've been hot smoke shows.
Congratulations, man. That's very nice.
I mean, I used to hang out with you.
That's very good.
And then
I'm
it
glad
used
you
to
got
be
to experience that.
Thank you. But then it was like, I really don't like this person.
Oh, I've been there.
I do.
Nothing worse than a hot girl who you
I'm
can't
talking to
stand.
like a bag of rocks, you know?
after how many dates do you realize you can't stand somebody who's really hot?
I think I don't know if you judge them by the dates,
Dates.
maybe by like how much sex you have
Yeah.
after a while.
Okay.
Because after a while, even like ask a married person. After a while, think about the craziest sex you've ever had. If you were to do that after a while, it would just become normal, like everything
Yeah.
else. Like everything else, it just becomes normal.
But the thing is, the sex was great.
Yeah,
It was incredible.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's not enough.
And it was like, I can't do this long term.
No, I can't do this long term. Yeah.
It was like, I gotta, it
Dre,
was
but
fun.
Dre, bro, you're 6 feet. You're 6 feet. You're a former athlete. Like, get a bit of a personality. You're good. You're
Travel.
golden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
You got
Also-
nothing to worry about.
All I've identified in this is that you found out a really good thing about your dating life, which is if you're on a date with a girl and she brings up height, you know she's not for you.
Exactly.
Keep it
We
moving.
found love in a hopeless place.
Bam, 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 bam.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't know. I guess dating in your 30s is like I don't think you run into that a lot. I think when you're dating in your 30s, like people are trying to meet their partners. They're not worried about like
But
their height.
That's my thing when I go on dates with like guys my age or a little bit younger. And like if they start talking on one of the first 4 dates about their type or what they're into, and it even that period, but it even is kind of loosely related to me, I'm like, but maybe not. I'm like, bye. Like
yeah. No, I
you're
hear
looking
you.
for a Lego piece to fill
I hear
something
you,
you're not
yeah.
actually into me.
from what I've heard in the lifospheres is that dating is very hard.
I've said that a couple times
Yeah,
on stage.
like they say that it's really treacherous out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, because you're not really running into quality people.
Yes.
Or I don't know what's going on out there, but like my heart goes to you. The Adulthood podcast, where our hearts go out to you. Stay sane. We pray for you.
I had a lady friend tell me something recently that was kind of eye-opening for me.
Talk to me.
We were having a conversation about dating, and she was like, and she meant this earnestly. She was like, she was talking to me. She was like, I think you have a skewed idea of how good the options are for women out there. Like,
Oh.
What do you mean?
she was saying that I think that women are getting exposed to these like good high-level men way more frequently than they actually are.
But that's not the truth.
Yeah, like she was saying that like most women are running into garbage on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was like, from the way with the conversation we were having, she was like, I think you think that women have like a ton of great options. And
She said that you think that.
that I think that. And she was like, we don't. Like, The options we have options,
It's
but
slim
the
pickings.
good options are very slim.
I also think when you're, especially in New York, like there's so many career women. Like I think it's just a newer generation. Not that this hasn't existed before, but it's like a lot of us are dating to like find a partner, but we're still at the age where there are a lot of men who are in object territory who like want to sleep with us, and wanting to sleep with me is great, for the record. That's why I'm here too.
On
But
this
like,
podcast?
what?
Or you meant on a date?
Everybody in here. That's why I got hired. Yeah, it's kind of my specialty.
I
Yeah.
told you can't do this anymore.
What? Yeah.
You're a lawyer? No.
Carmen, we're suing you. No, but yeah, I think I'm so at a phase where I'm like, dating's part of my life, but it's so decentered. I'm like, if I run into someone I like or I feel like being on the apps, cool.
That's how it should be, though.
If I kick it for a month
It
and
should
I don't
be.
care about men,
That's how it
awesome.
should be.
It should be, but then also have friends like close friends that are like freezing their eggs now because they're at
Yeah.
the age where
Yeah.
they want to have a family and they want to start a family, but like
I have a lot of friends like that.
they've ran into different issues. They had maybe like a long-term relationship and then it didn't work out, and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on my career, and then it's just like they focus on their career, and then they realize, and not to anybody's fault, but like they were so driven, and then they look up and they're like, oh, wait a minute, like I'm at this point where like, damn, I want a family. Like, did I want to just spend all this time focusing on my career? And it was great. And I have all of these wonderful accomplishments. But now where I'm at in my life, I want to start a family. And it's just like, oh, like,
Yeah.
they're making that pivot. And that pivot is, I don't want to say difficult, but it's challenging. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I just think
okay.
when you put in all these physical characteristics, and I'm not saying you're not allowed to have physical characteristics. You should have some, but I think you should try to limit them the most you can, because you're like cutting out like good people.
Yeah.
And the pool is not great. Like if you're like, oh, I need my guy to be 6'3", most people are not that tall. That is like above average height. That is like a small percentage of men.
You are so kind.
so-
I didn't know how kind you were, but thank you. I really appreciate you for saying that.
So if you're dealing from a pool of like smaller percentage of men, now you have to eliminate the ones who are like gay, who don't date women, the ones who are like already married, the ones who are like fuck boys, the ones who are in prison, the ones who aren't going anywhere, the ones who are like famous, so they're not gonna give you a shot or be serious about being in a relationship with you. Like once you boil down, like the chances of you meeting that guy is fairly small. Like it's pretty small. So I don't think we should put that on each other. Especially like, I mean, most of the adults, like we got a couple young people who listen to the adult, but most of the adulters who listen are like over 25 and 30s, 40s, like
Yeah.
they're grown-ups. And I
Yeah.
don't think most grown-ups are dating this way.
No, they're not.
And that doesn't mean you don't see like a 6'3" guy walk in and you think he's hot and want to sleep with him. I'm just talking about like trying to build a foundation with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think most people are doing this.
And but like you bring up a good point where it's just also like you also have to expand like where you're going and what your interests are, because the thing is the people who are in the dating pool but are like looking for quality, they're not going. Of course you'll go to a bar, of course you'll go to whatever, or you might be on the apps, but then they're also traveling, they're going to conferences, because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of relationships start from a conference of somewhere someone's into the same thing, the same field that you're
Yeah.
into, so you already know that the market is like, oh, we're about the same thing. And if they're single and they're in the same market, well, at least you can have a conversation. You at least know that, oh, this person's into more than just like the surface, and you
Yeah.
can
Also-
build from there.
Like, look around. I don't know, like, a lot of short men who are, like, older who are single. Like, they're all married.
They're all
Like,
married.
Yeah.
fine.
They're all scooped up.
So, yeah, so there's women out there, yeah, who...
They like that little thing.
Who would
It's
date
so
you.
not about height for yeah.
I dated a girl once who, she was, like, 5'4", who... I dated a couple girls like this, actually, who were, like, they literally didn't like tall men. She was just like, I think we look stupid together. Like, because she was like, I'm short, and he's like 6'6". Like,
think-
No, I've had some tall women say that. Like,
Yeah.
get your tall ass out of here.
yeah. No, that's the thing. So look, there's a person out there for everyone. Dre, I think you're 6 feet, former athlete. You're like a millionaire talking about like, why don't the homeless just live in a house? It's so simple. So you're good, brother. You
good.
got nothing to worry about. Keep listening to the Adulthood pod, and I don't think you could go wrong, man. Yeah, we're mending relationships. We're building marriages. We're building careers, masters. There's people in surgery right now, asleep under anesthesia, who the attending nurse is listening to us talk shit. then they're gonna wake up thinking about like, why do I all of a sudden want to date a short guy like after surgery?
Yep.
Just because your nurse had this plan while she was in the surgical room.
And shout out to all the nurses out there.
All right, so that's good. That's good. We gave him an hour. That's enough. Shout out to all the new listeners. For the new people who are listening to the Adulthood Pod,
welcome.
Go back, listen to the other episodes, because a lot of times we bring up stories. Yeah, listen to the other volumes. A lot of times we bring up stories that, we might have mentioned in early on episodes. And you don't got to rush. Just take your time on drives, at the gym, while you're cooking, cheating on your part. Whatever whatever you need for motivation, listen to the Adulthood Pod, catch up. And if you enjoy the we talk, tell your friends to listen.
Tell them.
Throw an adulthood listening party. Get everyone on board so people can send us more free stuff to promote.
Adulthood Zoom.
Adulthood Pod Volume 108. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
Later.